Oh, I thought it was gonna be. I don't know. I guess I just surprised myself. That I'm able to talk. Oh no, and I'm surprised too that I'm reacting like this. You know, after knowing. But I guess you're always a human being. You always get. I don't even know what the hell. Move. I said move. You get move. I get move. I mean, when I read the autobiography, I, you know, I tend to suspect, stuff. So, I mean, so I thought it was like, well, that's kind of like, you know, really sad, you know, thinking, I mean, if she went crazy, that was very, very sad. But I was just watching, I've been watching the whole week, um, different programs. I don't have Netflix. I thought that was another series. Somebody mentioned that series the other day, and this place that I go to, and I thought it was a movie or something. I thought I didn't know it was a new series, on on the assassination of Malcolm X. From all things, from all it's like there's been a cult focus on just that part, the assassination of the Honorable Malcolm X, which is kind of like shocking, like really, um, you know, kind of it was shocking that he lived that long. So Miss Ilyasa Shabazz was speaking, on NPR News. Oh, with that horrible white woman, that she always tried to sound so interesting or some shit, and she sound like fucking idiot. The War and Peace Report. The War and Peace Report. That shit is a book, ain't it? Like, and I heard that the War and Peace is like this big. I don't know. This is a really big book. Some cracker shit and everything that's from the crackers. It's a classic. Oh, it is a classic. How dare you? How dare you? Probably these fucking crackers are gonna say, these bitches don't even have the right to say the name of the book. To them, everything is a classic, everything is great, everything that's theirs. And then you learn everything was plagiarized. Everything plagiarized. That they say they wrote it, but then not that I recommend anybody to even bother on with that shit. So this is weird, the camera down here. I moved the tower back to the floor, so the cord is very short. Oops. I just awakened the neighbors downstairs. I said, what the hell is that? It's fucking nuts. I don't even know how to place this damn thing in there. I don't know. So I mean, most likely, the Honorable Malcolm X wanted to leave. Wanted to leave stuff private, which is a very human thing. I don't know where to put this no more. I should have practiced before, but I was still like, it's not in shock, but it's just like, like, oh shit, I get it a little bit more. And that's what, because for the last 10 years, that I'm starting to finding the truth, about the crackers. All their, you know, there's not enough fingers in the world. There's not even enough toes in the world to count, the white on world crime. When I thought about Miss Ileasa, every year she forced herself to talk about it because, like, she, always talk about her sisters, and I think that's, she got a very big sense of sisterhood, and you know and I kind of feel like she got that moral obligation to host every year on February 21st and May 19th, and that's a lot. That's a lot. I was like I say, I was at NPR. I was just watching NPR, and I remember she talking about France. And I thought that was very brave of her, to say as her daughter, to say, that France banned Malcolm X. So it's like, that's That's a lot. That's a lot, and just having to be sitting there, and I'm sure the Honorable Malcolm X daughters is watching. I don't know if that come on television. I don't know where that come out. NPR. I don't know. I guess I don't know. Just on YouTube. I don't know if it's a TV channel or not. I don't know. So it's too much. It's just too much for anybody. Now imagine 55 years of that. So yeah, God willing, I'm gonna be turning 55 in April. That's how I know how many years. That's my birthday. Like 2 weeks, 2 months before my birthday. So not long ago, and just like 55 years, and how they manipulate, history, manipulating facts. Oh, there you are. He was already in bed. I'm getting that bad habit of, putting like my iPod, and the battery go like this. So I put it on, and the battery ran out. Usually run out after I fall asleep. And today I was like, I didn't really look at how long was the show, but apparently it was pretty lengthy. They had the film producer, and they had one of Malcolm's biographers, and they had bits and pieces of the series. No, you got your scratching thing. I guess I gotta buy him different scratching things. The biographer said that, what we all know, the NYPD hated the Honorable Malcolm X. It's like you read it, and you know it just because, if you read them biographies, you learn that, it was, I guess the word is called contagious. Yeah, but still, like, hearing and like, oh, you gotta hear also Professor James Small. Professor James Small already gave a review of the Netflix. They say TV series, and sometimes they say it's a movie, but I think it's a series. I think somebody said it was 6 hours. Is that was it? 6 episodes? Maybe I heard wrong. I heard it wrong. But for Professor James Small, there was nothing new, and I'm hoping there's a second part. And Professor James Small, it's like most of it, because he was his sister's bodyguard for quite a while. So I forgot how many years. And this week he was on another show. I don't know. I've never seen this show on YouTube. But he said, kind of what I suspected about his older sister, Ella Collins, that she was very wealthy. She was one of the most wealthiest women in Boston. She was a real estate mogul, probably. I don't know if there was moguls back then. I don't know, like that. I don't know. So yeah, and Miss Ilyasa Shabazz, it was like the same thing. It's just like I mean I stopped watching it, but she was saying that yeah, it's crazy, saying the same thing as Professor Jane Small. It is crazy to think that the NOI was going to produce a Malcolm X from scratch. It's just like, Malcolm X was always there. So, and then she got to talk about her grandma, Malcolm X's mother. And that was like, just the way she said it. She said it like she was the secretary of the UNIA, of a international movement. That's international, or maybe she was just national. And she was like, and then I got that thought. I think she's trying to tell us something. Yeah, and Professor Jane Small talked about her too a little briefly. And he said it. He said it is like, oh, back in the day when it's still happening, somebody it's or an organizer like that, or it's revolutionary. So a lot of them ended up in mental institutions. So a lot of questions. Like did Malcolm knew about his mom? That she was a political prisoner, that she was, targeted. Because Mr. Earl Little, he was not in a train accident. There was no accident. The thing is flashing at me. Or when did the Honorable Malcolm X found out she wasn't crazy? Was she pretending to be crazy to keep him, at peace? That she was like, I guess she might have wanted to cover up, staying in Kalamazoo. What are you looking at? You should have stayed in the bed. But I mean, anybody can tell you, that was something that really marked him. And that would have gotten probably into his marriage too. You know, I mean, if the Honorable Malcolm X unconsciously blamed his mother for disappearing on them, which I heard that happen a lot. So, and ever since I started reading the autobiography, I thought it was like, you know, the most horrific thing about it was that it was too common, extremely common for African American boys. That was like, I'm starting to read one of the books of Booker T. Washington. I forgot what is the name of it. Talk about horrendous things too. I mean, anybody, any African American, especially before the 70s, before the 80s, or even before the 90s. Yeah, the crack epidemic. I mean, I think every African American generation have been through hell many times over. So something that's a lot. It's a lot to even imagine for me. That is just a lot. And I heard that, dissidents, they actually sometimes went crazy in the insane asylum because of the torture they was getting in the insane asylum. I don't know. I don't even want to like put any ideas on Malcolm X family or anything, just like, because one day we're gonna find out. One day people wanna know. One day people oh gosh, this camera is really weird. Well, whatever. One day people, you know, and you know what creeped me out a lot? What that it was the initiative of the Manhattan District Attorney, this Vance, what's his name is Vance, the DA. That shit creeped me out. It was like, what the hell? I think he's even gay. I think he's even gay, and the Honorable Malcolm X, just like, I think he would have benefit from, African spirituality. What's wrong with you? Huh? Stop it. Stop it. As soon as I turn this shit, you start acting out. They're gonna see you. Yeah, that's either way, it's very sad. Either way, it's very sad. If Malcolm X didn't know, his mother wasn't crazy. If he knew she was, and then there is the Manning Marable puzzle. He waited 20 years to get lung transplants. He was very successful, and then he killed himself. The same day his book came out, his biography on Malcolm X came out. And then when you read the book, there's things that they really don't, they kind of contradict it. Like somebody went to the book and they're like, oh, let's insert something over here, let's insert something over that. I don't know. I mean, I really don't know anything about books. I don't read as much. But you gotta wonder, and like I wonder, just like the this kind of like, what's it called? The call like, I don't know if it's pettiness. I mean, anyway, I just wanted to get on camera and block this. I guess they say misery seeks company, right? Yeah, I do feel miserable. I'm like, it's been kind of like interesting week. I found out, there was an interview of Dr. Umar Johnson, and he mentioned that Dr. W.E.B. Du Bois sent a letter to the Most Honorable Marcus Garvey apologizing for, you know, derailing Black liberation. And I just thought about, my country. Um, I'm Mexican, and we finally was able to elect our first president in 70 years. Get rid of the CIA puppets. There was some Spaniard son of a bitch, who 12 years ago started some rumors against our today's president of Mexico, Andrés Manuel López Obrador. And that faggot, he went like, "Oh, I apologize for starting those rumors, and that for like supporting, electoral fraud. They stole the election from us twice in a row, and our elections are every 6 years. So we're talking about 12 years. So of course we say to him, fuck you, I mean, it's not like just apologizing to the president. You gotta apologize to the families of, almost 500,000 Mexicans that we lost. You gotta apologize to the millions of families starving, fucking neoliberal globalization bullshit. You gotta apologize to so many. So I mean, anybody who got who got into these conspirations. Did I say conspirations? I don't know. Anybody who got into those, perpetrating and not perpetrating, but knowing and not speaking up, knowing and collaborating, knowing like, I wonder if those are people still. And we gotta be able to name them properly. And I suggest to remove their humanity against traitors. But before, you gotta make up the language. We're finding out our constitution in Mexico, Mexican constitution. You don't even find the word corruption, electoral fraud. You don't even find, those things. No. I was gonna pet you, but you wanna play? No, I don't wanna play. And it's not always about prison. There's gotta be a way to handle these people. There's gotta be a way to handle treason. There's gotta be a way to give him a fair warning. Ow, cabrón, hijo de la chingada, vete por allá. You stop. There's got to be a way to like, hey, you know what? Those days are over. I don't care what country, I don't care what race, I don't care like whatever. You collaborate or you keep quiet, about, I mean, like here, honestly, be anybody gonna say that they can validate the European occupation? No, no, because we have like books and books and files and files on crimes against humanity alone, crimes of every nature, crimes of, there's no bail for that. There's no there's no nothing for that shit. There's no. It's time to come up with like something like the people's constitution. I know there's already Declaration of Human Rights, the oh my god, I'm getting sleepy now. The letter for what's it called? The letter for La Carta Magna, the Magna Carta. I think of each country, and I think they all have. But you know what they do? What they do with all these treaties? Like, people keep saying, African Americans should be um, treated as prisoners of war, because they say, well, of course, I don't know nothing about it. Don't kill the messenger. But there's people, authorities in reparations, and I think even Professor James Small talked about it. I forgot what he said. It's like so much. This whole week it's just like, I didn't know about this series until like Thursday. I went to the program, and this Dominican guy, he went like, he showed me this video from Venezuela, from Diosdado Cabello. I don't. You probably don't know him. He's a great guy. Let's just say it like that, And he made a comment on Wednesday night. He have a show once a week, sometimes twice a week. If there's too much, going on, too much coonery, too much United States intervention, because they're constantly. I mean, this is something like, for me, I'm like, oh shit, I gotta learn to live again at freaking 55, and that's gonna be on, alert. That's gonna be on guard. It's gonna be 24/7, because the moment you have your own government, especially when you have a president that adore his people, and that shit feels so good. I wish everybody knew what having a great president. I mean, African Americans know. Dr. Umar Johnson, adore you. I don't know who else right now would put up with all the stuff he put out for you. For free. What is he trying to tell me now? Go to the bed and sleep. For free. For free. And I've seen him, like, anybody can, like, oh, if you can pitch in something for my bus ride or something, that'll be good. If you can't, that's fine. And it's Dr. Umar is not some scholar that looking for trending topics and all this stuff. Oh, which, by the way, I went a little bit on Black Twitter. Oh shit, it's crazy. It's just like, I'm so glad I left Black Twitter. Now I have to remind myself, don't look. I mean, like, we have elections and shit. I just go into, the Black Channel account, and I went, like, for this week. No, not even a whole week. It was like 5 days. 5 days, and it's like, damn. People are like, oh my god. It's like having like 10 million reality shows going on at the same time, and you gotta keep up. And who is who is what? And no, we're not talking about dignitaries. We're not talking about movers and shakers in geopolitical circles. We're not talking about I mean, just political figures. No, it's bullshit. I mean, like, there is some guy, I think it's like D Wade or Wade D. I don't know who he is. But it's the same one that Polite had already gone on a yada 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 without zero scholarship. Zero. Cero. Nada. Así nomás. Así. He's just like, I don't know, pull it out of, I don't know where the hell he pulled it out. And I made a fucking video that nobody watched, of course. I mean, like, because I put it on Facebook alone, but I should put it on YouTube. I should put it on YouTube because, just like, that shit was like so long, and like, bullshit like, oh, transsexualism. Well, not even call it transsexualism, because don't even have no clue what the fuck he's talking about. But he is pontificating nonetheless on, we don't even know if it's transgenderism, which is like bullshit, like the same as POC, people of color, just to, destroy, transsexuals, which that's what happened. You call yourself great Christian, whatever, and I'm not asking you for shit, but if you say that you're a good, half a decent human being, and I know a lot of you say Christians, even when you might have, like, I don't know, some other expressions around your bodies. You know, it's like you've been programmed to being Christians. Christians. It's like even the ones who like say, African spirituality, African traditions, and Jesus, and then like they turn into somebody else. It's really freaky, really freak you out. I'm like, and I grew up Catholic. I'm like, and yes, in Mexico we also do have hardcore Christians, but I don't know. There's something a little bit different. I don't know. But I mean, African Americans are always going to be, attention getters because you can dance, you can move, you can sing, you can perform, you can, and you're gonna say, "Oh, stereotype." Oh, stereotype. It's like once, I remember that was like, oops, I don't know, 15 years ago. I told this Jamaican guy, it was like, he said, "Oh, you see, you're stereotyping." It was like, whatever. You're like saying I can dance, and you are, stereotyping. And I was like, I didn't say you can dance. I say you have rhythm. Don't lie. Don't lie. You don't necessarily translate into dancing, but you got the rhythm. So just two different things, and at the same time they should be going together, but they don't. And they don't. People, dance, and the rhythm is on I don't know, non-existence. But that's a different thing. Okay, going back to I lost something. And I think because it was, emotionally, potentially, too. Okay, so now I get it. I feel like, you get it, 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 get it. When you really get it over here, that's, I think, when that shit, it's like, I mean, I hate using the Bible because, the lack of neutrality. It's always about sacred. Oh, can't touch this. But I'm gonna use an example. Paul fell off the damn horse, fell off his high horse, and supposedly he was able to see. I mean, they don't say it with so many words, but he got a deeper level of understanding. I don't know. I never read that book. It was read to me by my father. And he was like, Bible time, you gotta listen. I'm like, yeah, right. You don't know me. I can pretend to be listening, but I'm not listening. So I don't give a fuck. I don't know. I don't know why I didn't give a fuck exactly. But I just saw the fact that it was imposed. Why the hell shit gotta be imposed? Mm-mm. I mean, if it's the shit, why don't you let me be? And eventually, like the opposite, right? You can throw a branch in the ocean and it's never going to become a fish. Okay, here's the last thing. And now I'm really curious why it was like somebody literally went and like changed the channel. I don't know if you noticed, that was like 3 minutes ago. And it was, you know, about Malcolm Week. That's what it been, you know, Malcolm Week. So yeah, yesterday I was live streaming a couple of documentaries on my well, it's not mine, it's African Americans. No, once again, lost the train of thought. Well, this time I was smoking. Back then I wasn't smoking, so I still say, like, you know, as soon as I turn this shit off, I'm gonna say like, oh, I wanted to touch on. It was the same thing. Yeah, but definitely look it up on YouTube. Look up Professor James Small, Malcolm X. I think he had like 3 different shows on his experience around them. And you know, the other thing that just came up is just the tragedy that every country fell back after gaining independence, after starting to attain, you know, self-determination, you know, assassinated. What's the thing when you say extra, not extra tight? You say extra exile, something like that. I have the feeling that we're about to find out about a lot more horrific African American history. It might not be new, but it might be sinking for you too. It might sink in too. You know, the what they call dermis, epidermis, and germ. I don't know. Supposedly, each layer, each stage, got a name. So as the information, it's archived. That's kind of like the way I see it. Hold on one second. Let me get some water. That's kind of how I see it. You know, having to get it archived, the information. Yeah, having to get the information archived. That's my theory. I don't know what people, I wonder what other people will think. I don't know. I guess eventually over the years, I'll probably come across some coincidence, another coincidence. I was not expecting this. I was not expecting this. I mean, like, But I think it's just the interviews. I think the interviews the whole week, and it just made it more like, I don't know. I was gonna say archive, but when I say archive, I mean like, I feel like the mind gotta keep sorting it out, periodically, as to that's a lot of light. Sun, no, you don't see the flag either. I mean, like, I feel like the mind have to. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's what it is, but I just thought about the computer and the cleanups you do. You schedule periodically, cleaning if you have pay service, and if you don't have pay service, then you got to do it manually, right? You got to remember and scan the shit, and get rid of all the duplicates and suspicious and even malicious, right? So you gotta do that. And when you do that, then once you do the whole inspection and cleaning and rearranging, then that's when you're gonna know some shit was not just information, was like history, you know, including firsthand history, which, I mean, we don't even pay attention no more, because it's just like, it's just what we see. Our lives are happening through our phones or tablets. That's how a lot of lives are happening, which is like impossible, because it cannot happen like that. It gotta be experienced firsthand, not through the phone, not through somebody's review that somebody was there 10 times. I don't care that person, like, they are great bloggers, and they can practically take you to that restaurant, to that, monument, all that shit. It's all about energy. We are energy first, and then manifestations second, obviously, because we are manifestations in partial manifestations, right? So, I mean, that's something that I have to research a lot. Who I wish there was a lot of talks about, because then you gotta find out how much is real, how much is from memories, that we're just filling the gaps with some memories or some book. And now sometimes we think the fucking book that we read, it's a memory. I've seen people, and I have experienced myself. I catch myself, but, well, that only happened once. I don't even remember. Oh my God, it's been a while that I said, it's like, wait a minute, that's not. But it happened way, way before it even got out. But I'm saying, like, for other people, let's see, like, people who really, like, into starch for years with starch. That means destroy nervous system, and even that, and depending the age, the joints, all the, well, that's a lot of pain. I did not realize how much pain I had until I stopped. No, I did not stop. I, like, slow down starch. And right now it's not something like, I feel like it's more like, I don't know, like, don't everybody else do this? Don't we supposed to be doing this? Eating this, eating that, and eating 3 times a day, which, I mean, I'm only doing once a day, but I still end up snacking in the evening. If it's fruit, it's walnuts, sometimes Brazil nuts, bananas, sometimes. Because, they don't bring them for some reason. The baby bananas, they don't bring them. And the burro bananas, I don't know. I guess those, I feel like I have to cook them. I have to cook them. So I have to research more if I can cook them. I don't know. We're supposed to cook the bananas, to get what we're supposed to get, I think I should finish this video because, I mean, like, you see, I'm supposed to apologize for yawning. Why? Why do we have to apologize for yawning? Why? I know, because people, they say that you're saying, that I'm saying, you are boring. And that might be it. It's not a stereotype. It's not anything. It's just a fact. Sometimes we're boring as hell. Oh my God. I'm glad that my mood is now better, because I was just so shocked. I was just like, she wasn't crazy. She's a political prisoner. She was like a political detainee. Oh my God. And I don't even know. I mean, but somebody, I hope that they get those files on the Honorable Malcolm X's mother and his father. And then I go back to, like, how is it that people, they still like him? And the only thing I hope that everybody's acting. I hope everybody's acting. It's like somebody said this week that, kind of imply that people was happy of becoming feminist. And I was like, people are terrified of somebody accusing them. It's a witch hunt. Oh, it's misogynist. It's I don't even know what they say these days. Macho, whatever. Or, like some bitches, they will say that the enemy itself, because you are not, what's that word, conforming? You are not, we gotta obey the overnight laws. That was it. And it's like, to me as a woman, yeah, and transsexual, whatever. But as a woman, I say it's it's like I feel like I'm stupid. I feel like, oh shit, you gotta give me a pass. You gotta give me a break. You gotta take it easy, as if I'm like slow. I'm slow, so you gotta give me a break and give me that job, and I mean, I was reading Tracy Ricciardi in Brooklyn, city council, and moving to, I forgot what else she moving on. I don't know if, or maybe she's the first time who she could get elected. With this wave of insane feminism that we don't need qualifications. I mean, people, they don't realize I could be a millionaire right now. Fine, like, not saying like, but to live fine, house, both and pay for, car, service, you know, that's it. No, I mean, I don't think I can do that car service. I don't know. No, public transit, that's it. But then if you never know if you need a plane ticket. That's another thing that's been so normalized, but it's really, really awful for everybody. We fly like crazy. We fly, 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 fly. I was just hearing somebody say there's like $30 tickets from Florida to New York City, or across the river. What's it called? Across the river is called Newark. Sorry, Newark. Just really don't go that much to Jersey, like twice a year top. I don't move that much, and I'm in Aries, so it's like, but I see the superficiality. I see the fact that we don't have the technology yet not to destroy the planet from burning so much fuel. Not to mention the noise. Well, whoever watched this shit is like, I salute you, because I have no idea what the fuck I'm doing. I have no idea. I was just like, oh my god. I think now I know why the spirit got me out of bed in front of this chair in front of the camera. I mean, it's weird because I don't feel talking about nothing. I don't feel like talking about nothing, but I'm talking about nothing. It's like, I guess finally I'm learning small talk, which I hate. No, but I think it's normal. For somebody who just actually got it into another level of awareness, and like, as to say, this is who they are. and it's terrifying. They're willing to get away with everything. Their masks are like literally coming off. People are so terrified that denial is not a river in Kemet. That's not what it is. And we're in denial. And for me, it's just like, I don't know if anybody answered the question, but why they want us to know the truth now? Why now? I think it's just like, well, they didn't want us to die from the shock, right? That they go like, that's it, peekaboo, whatever. We go like, ah, imagine we go like, oh God. Imagine, and a lot of people are gonna go like, what? What? We're gonna say, oh, I had a bad dream. Because that's how we are. So they don't want us to die. So they're like, drip, 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 drip. And it's drop. We go like, shit, oh my God. You know, you go like, it's impossible. I mean, am I the only one who said like, that shit is impossible? Like, we cannot even imagine that level of evil. We can't. I can't. All right. Anyway, have a good night.